How has the response been so far in Andhra Pradesh for this Bharat Jodo Yatra that you're here?
Well, unusually good, because as you know, we had an electoral debacle in 2014, 2019. I was a bit concerned about what the response is going to be in a state where our vote share is less than 2%. Tamil Nadu, we went through Kanyakumari, which is our MP. Kerala, we have a very healthy, respectable vote share, even though we are not in power. Karnataka, very strong organization. Now, suddenly we've come to Andhra where, we've been decimated over the last decade following the bifurcation. But the response we had yesterday and the response we've had today in Kurnool district has far, far exceeded whatever expectations any of us had. And the fact that the state government actually intervened to make life difficult for the public to come to the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and even made life difficult for the media to cover the Bharat Jodo Yatra, shows that somewhere the message is hitting home. So in short, I would say our response in Andhra Pradesh has been pleasantly exceeded our expectations.
That's good to know. I mean, this is a follow-up to what you've said.
It's only a beginning. We have a long way to go. I mean, I would not say that just because we've had this great success in Kurnool district, we have 2 more days to go, that we're suddenly, on the road to revival. It's a long road.
Right.
We've been really decimated, and the anger is still there for the bifurcation. But I think this has provided an opening for us. It's provided a peg for us. We've come back into the narrative. We've come back into the media narrative. We've come back into the civil society narrative. We've come back into the political narrative. So it's up to us now to take it forward. And, the revival of the Congress in Andhra is not going to happen in 1 year or 2 years. It's a long-term process.
Right. Then what's going to be the strategy? Like, you said the vote bank is less than 2%. You also have strong parties here. There's a ruling party that's strong.
Very strong regional party.
Exactly. And equally strong opposition party, which once was ruling the state. So there's not much vacuum left for Congress to start over or, again come back.
Our entire vote bank, our vote coalition, is the YSRCP.
Right.
It's very interesting. YSRCP, people focus on YSR, but it's actually CP. The party has not been named YSR party. It's not been named, YSR, some party in the name. It's a YSR CP. So it's a Congress party. So what YSR CP has done has taken the Congress party's bastion. Scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, minorities. The BCs have been with the TDP traditionally. But the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minority bastion, and made it part of their coalition. So we're going to find it difficult. It's not easy. But we have a youthful cadre. I've met a lot of youngsters yesterday and today who are, who come from weaker sections of society, who are waiting for opportunities in the organization, and we can't go lower than we've touched the bottom in Andhra a couple of years ago. So the only place to go is up. So I think that what the Bharat Jodo Yatra has done is to provide that boost. It's a booster dose. It's like a booster dose to the organization.
Previously, you've been talking about how Bharat Jodo Yatra is not a Chunav Jeeto Yatra, but a process to rejuvenate Congress. Okay.
But nothing to do with Gujarat, nothing to do with Himachal, nothing to do with Munugod election on the 3rd of November in Telangana. Although everybody here is focused on what's going to happen in Munugod. So it's got nothing to do with Chunav Jito. It's Bharat Jodo Yatra. It's a yatra aimed at the 3 perils, which are the result of the personality and the policies of Mr. Modi, which is economic inequality rising, social polarization increasing, and political authoritarianism intensifying. So this is because Bharat is being todoed on economic, social and political grounds, we came up with this idea of Bharat Jodo. Now, Bharat Jodo, in my view, is really an instrument of mass mobilization. It's the longest political yatra, longest Pad Yatra undertaken by any political party. The only longer Pad Yatra in world history is Mao Zedong's 1936 long march, 8,000 kilometers. A different context altogether. In a democratic setup by a political party, this is the longest. So this is a instrument for rejuvenating the organization. It's an instrument for changing the narrative, for showing the Congress in a different light. That the Congress, which is Congress bashing is a favorite pastime, and your paper, your digital news item and portal is a wonderful example. It's a favorite pastime for liberals. It's a favorite pastime for armchair commentators and the media. So, for the last 35 days or last 40 days, that Congress bashing has not been at its peak. You're seeing a different Congress in the media, in the narrative. So we are setting the narrative. We're putting the BJP on the defensive. The BJP is coming back with animations. He's coming back with, things on containers, T-shirts, socks, shoes. Childish debate. And the fact is, therefore, that our message is reaching home.
So when you talk about rejuvenating Congress and getting Congress back upon its feet, let's look at Andhra Pradesh, where it lacks strong faces in the constituencies, the internal issues among leaders, and also this is just a peg to start off in Andhra. So a lot of challenges for the party as such. So what's going to be the immediate strategy? We're looking at 2024 elections, state elections.
The first concrete strategy is the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Admittedly, it's going through only one district. And it's going through a district where the response was, has been very good. Now we also, although briefly touched Anantapur as well. But we haven't done this in the coastal areas. We've done this in Rayalaseema. What response we will get in the coastal areas? I think the anger on the bifurcation is still very much there, and the fact that the results, the positive results of the bifurcation, have been sabotaged by the YSRCP. For example, the Amravati capital city project has gone for a 6. There's crazy three capital idea. The Polavaram project has not yet been completed. So these were all the visible symbols of how Andhra is going to benefit from the bifurcation. Of course, what's happened after bifurcation is number of international airports in Andhra Pradesh has increased, number of educational institutions has increased. If you go to Tirupati, for example, you'll find an IIT, you'll find an ISER. So all this is happening. But the two visible symbols of the bifurcation, one was the capital city of Amravati and the other one was the Polavaram project, both at the end of 8 years, not in sight anywhere. And that's directly because of political cussedness, this attitude of the YSRCP that whatever the TDP did was wrong and therefore we should undo it. Not forgetting that these are commitments made in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, which is passed by Parliament.
So the message you are giving to me, this message has to be taken to the people. Does Congress in the state have leaders strong enough with strong faces to take that message?
We don't have leaders because all our leaders have become migrant workers into either the TDP or the YSRCP. Some of our leaders have gone to the BJP. Dagubati Purandeshwari, who enjoyed power in the Congress regime, got good portfolios. She's now in the BJP. So everybody has migrated. Everybody has become a migrant worker. So we have youngsters. As I told you, I met a lot of people yesterday and today. People from Chittur, people from Kurnool. I met people from Anantapur. I met some people from East Godavari. These are people who can be expected to be the foundational pillars of the Congress party. This is a 20-year project. This is not a 2-year, 3-year project. We have to first reach double digits before we can even think of becoming a serious player.
And then what's the target for 2024 as such?
Well, 2024, the target is that we must come to power, I am not one of those who believes that opposition unity for the sake of opposition unity. Opposition unity must be a programmatic unity, must be a constructive agenda. And I don't believe a weak Congress can provide a pivot for opposition unity. There are basically only two political formations at the national level. There's a BJP-led formulation or a BJP-friendly formulation. formation, and you have a Congress, Congress broadly centre-left formation. Now, some of these regional parties have match fixing arrangements with the BJP. But I'm sure if we come to power at the centre, they'll have match fixing arrangements with us.
Before regional parties match fixing with BJP, before I come to that point, I'd want to ask you, 2024, you said the target first is to get double digits before we come to power or look at something else.
Andhra Pradesh. At the national level, we are looking at 3 digits.
Yes, absolutely. So in Andhra Pradesh, will Congress go alone or will they tie up with stronger parties that they have?
Mr. Gandhi was asked that question, and I think he gave the right answer. That depends on the local leadership in Telangana and Andhra. But my experience, shows that alliances hurt the Congress. It detracts from the process of organization building. And many of our allies, when we enter into alliances, end up taking more from us than giving us. So we have to be a little careful on this. And I'm actually I am of the view that we need to strengthen the Congress party and not necessarily strengthen opposition unity. Opposition unity is a product, is a consequence of strengthening the Congress. It cannot be, you can't put the cart before the horse. Because if you say opposition unity, then the guys will say you contest only 150 seats or 200 seats, which is unacceptable to the Congress. Under no circumstances can the Congress party agree to a situation where we end up contesting only 150 or 200 Lok Sabha seats. That's simply not on. So therefore, that's why I say opposition unity is a product, is a consequence, is a derivative of a strong Congress. And for a strong Congress, you need Bharat Jodo Yatra type initiatives. We have done a south to north initiative. Next year, maybe we should be thinking about a west to east initiative.
So it's not a complete no when it comes to ties. It's too early at this point.
No, it's too early. I mean, for alliances and all, it's too early. I don't think it's too early. But as I said, an alliance which hurts us and which keeps us to below 200 seats is simply not going to be acceptable to any leadership in the Congress party.
Right. You've only chosen, I understand the map as such, this area bodes well with the entire route that's been chosen. But only Rayalaseema region has been picked, rest of the Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh geographically has a different kind of political scope in different area. Rayalaseema is considered to be Rashekar Reddy's bastion, YSRCP's, then there's coastal. So only Rayalaseema has been chosen. So is it just an entry and then probably the focus will happen next? How is that?
Here is Kashmir.
It is, yeah.
Here is Rayalaseema. Coastal Andhra is here.
I know, yeah.
So you're asking us to go from here to here and here.
Which is why I mentioned, I understand the route.
So this is the route. This is the route. Rayalaseema happens to be on the way. Right? So that's how we are going. We are going a straight line route, geographically convenient. Padyatra, entire route is Padyatra. So we had another route going like this via Chhattisgarh. Go via Bastar. You couldn't do a Padyatra because it goes through Naxal affected areas and so on. So this is the Padyatra route. It's a geographically convenient straight line route.
Right.
So naturally coastal Andhra gets left out.
Right.
So but maybe when you do a Porbandar to Parashuram Kund Yatra, maybe we go through coastal Andhra at that time.
We've heard that at one point of time, Congress party wanted YSRCP's support in Andhra Pradesh. Will that probably happen on the cards?
But I again point this out. The name of the party is YSR CP. YSR Congress Party. I'd like Jagan to, if he really wants to demonstrate his power, why is he keeping the word CP still there? Why is Trinamool Congress still called Trinamool Congress? Why is Mr. Sharad Pawar's party called Nationalist Congress Party? I wish the Congress Party had taken patent rights on the word Congress. It's too late now. We don't believe in doing. Our entire 2004 election campaign was based on Aam Aadmi. Yeah. And of course, then these guys started an Aam Aadmi party. Right. So you can't take intellectual property rights on slogans.
Then what about a tie-up with YSRCP, which has a Congress?
I don't think there's any question of a tie-up. I mean, if you see one party that YSRCP constantly bangs on, hammers on, every day Vijay Sai Reddy is tweeting against, it's the Congress party, and they have an unwritten understanding with the BJP. virtually the B team. They're the B team of the BJP in Delhi, and they're the A team of the BJP here. You should see them in Parliament on every bill. Whenever whenever they show some signs of independence, Mr. Piyush Goyal will call up Vijay Sai Reddy, and I don't know what transpires in that conversation. And Vijay Sai Reddy will come meekly and say, "Mr. Chairman, sir, we support the government on this bill." So they are a friendly ally of the NDA.
Quick two questions
Question: they have to get out of the NDA. They have to demonstrate their independence.
for Congress to consider an.
No, I'm not saying we're going to. I am not party to it. It all depends on local leadership. It depends on now Mr. Kharge and the others. But all I'm saying is this is a party which has Congress in it. So therefore, it's part of the larger Congress umbrella. It's come out of the Congress.
It has. Certainly has. Quick two questions on Telangana actually. Telangana Chief Minister has launched a party. In fact, he's renamed his party, which he hopes to be recognized as a national party, Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti. What does the Congress think of it?
Well, it may end up as being VRS, not BRS, Voluntary Retirement Scheme. So, Mr. KCR is has behaved for many years as the 8th Nizam. And he's the mirror image of Mr. Modi in Hyderabad. Mr. Modi behaves like Mohammed bin Tughlaq, of which the best example is demonetization. KCR behaves like Nizam.
But he's been talking about an anti-BJP, anti-Congress front.
These are all castles in the air. He's building castles in the air.
To stitch a front.
There is no third front, no federal front possible. Any alternative to the BJP must have the Congress as the pivot, whether he likes it or not. I mean, Mr. KCR again is a migrant. He was once upon a time in the Youth Congress before, he migrated to the TDP and then he founded his own party. We don't have to get into that history.
That way we
But
find a lot of people.
yeah. I mean, even Mr. Chandrababu Naidu for that matter. He and YSR used to go on a bicycle together 40 years ago. No, I mean, look, I think he's dreaming. I think he's dreaming. If he thinks he's going to be the fulcrum of an anti-BJP, and also I don't know how much of it is posturing, because again, income tax, CBI, ED, there are a lot of multiple vulnerabilities as far as KCR is concerned. And Mr. Modi has many instruments to make sure that KCR falls in line.
Quick last question. What's going to be the strategy for Telangana? Telangana now has what they consider relatively stronger PCC face, which they did not earlier.
Telangana, as I said, we had 28% of the vote. So it's not as if we have been completely. We've lost by elections, no doubt. And the BJP is, a very visible figure, particularly in the GHMC area, no doubt about it. But if you look at the 119 constituencies, I don't think the BJP is going to be finding credible faces in a lot of these constituencies. Congress is still number 2. I mean, I would say the fight is between the Congress across Telangana. In Hyderabad, it may be a triangular contest or a quadrangular contest if you bring the MIM in. But across the state, I would say the fight is still between the TRS and the Congress.
And Congress is still number.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are still in the reckoning. I don't think that we are.
Recently lost a face to BJP, moved to BJP.
Rajgopal Reddy. Yeah, I mean, he was threatening to leave us for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think business considerations weighed in favor of that move. So I'm not surprised that he moved. He met me. He used to come talk to me. He used to meet me very frequently. I'm in touch with all these people, these migrants in the TRS and the BJP. They're all in touch with me because I've worked with them in the past. But they are basically businessmen first and politicians later. They have no ideology. Their commitment is only to their turnover.
Telangana IT Minister KTR called Congress a liability, saying it has lost direction and it's an identity crisis at this point.
I mean, we're going through a tough time. We're going through challenging times, no doubt about it. But I can also say many things about the TRS. I can also say many things about KCR and his background and how he formed the TRS and how he narrowly escaped the law and on the passport scam. I don't want to get into this, this personalized attacks. KTR is a young, dynamic, you know, pleasant young man whom I have met on more than one occasion. I wish him all the very best. He let him build his party, and we build ours. We rebuild ours, and I think uh, one thing I will say that KCR is certainly the beneficiary of almost 25 years or 30 years of successive governments making huge investments in Hyderabad and in Andhra Pradesh, undivided Andhra Pradesh. I think the governments of particularly Vengal Rao in the late 70s, N.T. Ramarao later, Vijay Bhaskar Reddy for a short period of time, Chandrababu Naidu, and most recently Rashika Reddy. I think a lot of it, the momentum has benefited KCR. You know, the growth in Hyderabad, particularly the fact, the way the IT sector has grown, and when the IT sector grows, the real estate sector also grows. There's a core interlinkage, the institutional base, the law schools, the management schools, and so on and so forth, universities. So KCR has been the beneficiary of his successors. So I think it's important to recognize the continuity that has stood Hyderabad and Telangana now in good state over the last 25 to 30 years. So KTR would be well advised to recognize that contributions of his father's predecessors.
Thank you so much. We wish you good luck. You've been walking a lot. You will walk a lot in the Yatra. Thank you for speaking with The Print. That was Jairam Ramesh from the Congress. This is Rishika Sadam from Adoni.